Hi guys, welcome to another day with Zamalata. So we're gonna be regenerating the diesel particulate filter. Looks like we have soot content is 41 grams. So that's a lot. Let's go ahead and see if we could regenerate it. So if this worked, this should take about 30 minutes to do from start to finish. But the problem is, they never work. They will constantly shut off and kick you out, and you have to start over and stuff like that. So right now what's going on, it is trying to warm up the vehicle to the appropriate temperature. That way the regeneration process will begin. I can definitely hear hissing at the bottom. Oh yeah, I can not only hear it. Look at that. That's where the leak is. It's pretty bad. So I am regenerating this 2007 Sprinter. As you can see, lots of nasty smoke is coming out. It stinks pretty bad. Now we're gonna crawl underneath. I'm not gonna speak. God. Oh man. That stuff is nasty. Just nasty. I mean, it's obvious it's coming from the bottom. Earlier I went down there. I could not see this type of smoke. It was somehow a little bit more clear. I could certainly smell it, and you can see it's all right there where the intake manifold is. Now, I believe there's a possibility that the flex pipe that, you know, right there at the back of the engine where the turbo is and the EGR system, those are common, you know, to break and leak right there. So there's a good chance that that is actually what's broken, but it's very hard to get to it in order to replace it with everything in the way there. So unfortunately, a little pipe, big job. Well, anyways, here's a little update of the regeneration process. It is underway. This bar needs to fill up all the way to the back for the job to be complete. So at this point, the exhaust temperature upstream of diesel particulate filter is 1135 degrees. It is steadily, a little bit slightly below 2000 RPMs, about 1700 or so, 1800 RPMs. And regeneration is in progress, so that is definitely a good thing. I'm just going to observe one more time underneath the hood as the regeneration is in progress. You can definitely see smoke is rising from here. It's kind of hard to see in the camera, but you can see it right there. It's so bad, it's burning my eyes. With the hood closed, most of it has no place to go but down. So with it up, that's where that goes. Well, that's not good. Looks like our test just failed. An error occurred. This is always happening. So in that case, you just have to start things over. So we need to continue. Error occurred again. It's interesting, the error occurred this time, but the engine did not slow down. Hopefully we could burn it out. But the good thing is, even if it fails, you just have to keep starting it over and over and over and over and over. And if you do that about 1 hour, it's going to clean it up all the same way. It's just, the thing about it is it just makes you work overtime. Because sometimes it just, you know, like right now, it just kicked off sooner than later. In that case, I have to just continue doing it. But I'm not going to record every little detail, but I'll just let you guys know how long it takes. So the time right now is 3:18, and that's what we're gonna look at, how long it's gonna take. But if it will try to regenerate all the way, I will definitely let it, even if it fails many times, just to make sure it's clean. So here we have ash content of diesel particulate filter is 0.0. So that's actually, you know, quite low right there for the ash. But the soot content of the particulate filter is kind of high. It is 40.9. And yeah, that's definitely a problem, but it just keeps failing. It's not letting me try to regenerate it. And the reason it's failing, it's definitely due to it being in limp mode. When it's not in limp mode, things work a lot better. But in this type of situation, it just keeps failing. It's 3:36 p.m. Just started the regeneration process over again. It just failed again. Just really being glitchy. So the regeneration process is over. I'm not gonna say I've been satisfied, but it has taken more than 1 hour of my time failing and things of that nature. So here's what I want to do, guys. I want to go ahead and take this vehicle on a test drive. I just scanned it, despite it just operating all this time trying to regenerate. No codes has come back, so I'm going to try to take it on a test drive. I want to see if the swirl valve codes come back. If they don't, hey, that's gonna be good. Also, if P299 code comes back, because there is a major leak. I believe it's coming from the flex pipe underneath, but it's very hard for me to look at it because, man, I'm choking with that exhaust fumes. At the bottom, I could only stay so long without no air. But I do believe it is definitely leaking. All right, here we go. And immediately limp mode gets triggered. I'm still going to take it on a further test drive, even though it's triggered. I want to see if the swirl valve code comes back. If the intake runner, if it's still stuck, because we had a code where it's stuck. Let's see if that code is still present or not. Man, it's unfortunately, it's very slow acceleration. I'm gonna go ahead and put my phone away, but before I do want to let you guys know that I'm basically having the gas pedal all the way down for this entire test, and still it's extremely slow. So guys, the van is acting real weak. So it just lets me just show you kind of like what I mean. So we're gonna turn around. We're gonna go downhill. So this is me pressing gas all the way down, and we're going downhill. But I'm getting some jerkiness out of the van, like it's also lacking in fuel. And that's definitely possible. This fuel filter probably never been changed. So right here there's a slight incline, and I kind of like to test things where it's, you know, it's kind of safe, just slight. So watch what happens when I press the gas pedal all the way down. not do it this time, but it was definitely jerking for me the other time around. I was not recording. So I'm gonna stop it again and just accelerate. Right there's a little jerkiness there. You're not gonna really see it on the camera, but I feel the hesitation on my pedal. And right there's boom, 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 boom. It's just jerking. Like, I mean, this van is just all over the place. It's just starving. Right there, some jerkiness. Right here. You can kind of see it reflects a little bit in the RPM gauge. Yeah, this van needs a lot of work done. Definitely. A lot of work. Just way too much wrong with it. At this point, it's really hard to say what's really causing what. Look, you hear that? And look at the hesitation when I actually accelerate. Right there, did it, and then it goes to 3,000. That whistling right there, that is not good. It's definitely coming from the turbo, but that same sound can be coming from the flex pipe. It's a metal type of sound. It's really hard to get access to the flex pipe. So that's definitely worth taking a look at. Right there, some jerkiness. And it's just so slow. We got on the highway and it's embarrassingly slow. I really don't like when this kind of stuff happens. I've done already what I was supposed to do in this van. There's apparently more to do. But in this type of situation, my hands are a little bit tied. You know, the customer wants to do some of the work himself, so I cannot really do everything that I want to do, and I don't blame the customer. You know, I mean, a lot of the stuff is going to be a lot of money and a lot of work, so if you can save some money by doing some of the work himself, then so be it. But this engine, it needs to be pulled. A lot of stuff needs to be replaced, and definitely the oil cooler seal needs to be replaced. Finally, we're going downhill. We got a chance to accelerate to 60 miles an hour. And it's gonna be losing some energy, as I thought, going up this hill, even though I'm applying gas pedal all the way down. Well, I do believe that we have some good news, because guess what? The intake runner being stuck is no longer an issue. At least it's not pulling up right now. The only one that we're having is the turbo supercharger under boost, which is a very common issue on any Sprinter model. It's just in this type of situation, it is not common where it's actually leaking, because it's not leaking at the actual airbox. It's leaking to the right side of the engine. That's mechanically speaking, if you're sitting behind the steering wheel, where the EGR system is. And I'm gonna walk you to an engine from basically the same model year vehicle and show you what I'm talking about. One thing for sure, that oil leak from the oil cooler seals is pretty bad. Look, this is right there, all those drips that you're seeing, that's just from me pulling in. And you could see, look at that, the drips start all the way from here, me pulling in. So that's a pretty big leak. By the time you get somewhere, you're gonna lose about a quart of oil. So that hesitation that I'm feeling might be also low oil. And I checked the dipstick earlier and it was low oil. Also, when it's leaking oil from the oil cooler, I mean, there's other problems that could occur from that.